Welcome to Empire Academy, where we break down profitable online businesses to help you find new ideas for making money online. Today, we're going to be taking a look at bestadvisor.com, which is an affiliate marketing site claiming to make around $37,500 per month or $450,000 per year. So we're going to start off by reviewing the site data on Flippa because this site is currently for sale. That's very helpful because most of the times if you're trying to analyze a site or figure out what kind of money it might be making, you don't have the seller providing you with that or the owner providing you with that kind of information. So we're going to see what the expenses are, what the revenues are, what kind of traffic they get, lots of stuff that you don't normally have. So very, very valuable. Next, we're going to take a look at the site itself, review their content strategy, and see how they're making money. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how to build a site like this, what would be involved, and whether you would even want to. So let's get started by taking a look at the website listing on Flippa, which is an online marketplace for selling websites, apps, online businesses, domain names, things like that. And let me go ahead and start off by saying I am not the seller of this website. I don't work for Flippa. I'm not brokering this website. I don't get any money if somebody buys this website, and I'm certainly not a financial advisor or encouraging you to consider going out and buying any site in any type of video that is ever posted to this channel. We're really just using this as a very interesting case study because of all the information that we have available to us that we normally wouldn't. So you can see that the listing or the site is currently listed at $850,000 with a buy it now price of $1.2 million. So let's take a look at some of these details. So it's a content site, which is very common for an affiliate marketing site. It's about 4 years old, which is very impressive to have a 4-year-old site making $450,000 per year. And the net profit that's listed here on average is $37,257 per month. When we look at the traffic, they have some very impressive traffic numbers. 758,000 page views per month on average. And as you can see, other than a spike that we have right here around April, May, and of course we can all imagine why they would have a spike in online buying around that time, given what's going on this year, their numbers are very consistent. That's a very nice, consistent, high traffic period that they have there. So that's very impressive. It'd be nice if it was continually going up, but still, to see those kind of consistent traffic numbers is very impressive. If we come down here and look at the high-level financials, looks like they're reporting about $128,000 per month of gross revenue and then $37,000 per month worth of net profit, which means somewhere in there's about $90,000 worth of monthly expenses. That is why looking at listings like this, when we have this kind of data, is so important, because if you just look at the front end of the site and you're trying to figure out based on the size of their content, how much of their traffic is organic, how much are they paying for, what's going on, you don't normally have these kinds of numbers. So if you're thinking about making a site like this or any kind of affiliate marketing site, getting to peer behind the scenes of something that is already making money, and a substantial amount of money at that, is very, very helpful. So remember that $90,000 worth of monthly expenses, because we're going to kind of try and drill down and figure out what that's being spent on. But before we do, we're going to look really quick at their backlink profile, which is provided, as you can see here, from SEMrush. And we can see that they have almost 6,000 different websites are feeding them backlinks and things like that. So they've got a lot of other websites are pointing at their content, about 194,000 backlinks, and they're currently ranking for around 251,000 keywords. So you can tell just by looking at those numbers, this is going to be a massive site. This is a content creation machine that is running to get these kind of numbers. And if you take a look at the traffic, again, a little bit more detailed breakdown, very, very high traffic, very respectable traffic numbers. And you can see that their average session duration of 4 minutes and 5 seconds, that's great. That means people are going to the site and they're not just leaving immediately. They're reading these reviews, they're reading these articles, they're getting into the content, and then we know, because it's profitable most months, they are spending money, which is, of course, if you're in affiliate marketing, what you want to have. Now let's take a look at their top traffic channels, this breakdown. 49%, almost half of their traffic is from organic search. That means Google. So they have, again, a big content strategy in place because Google and other search engines are feeding them half their traffic because they're ranking for these keywords. That's very, very impressive. Looks like 43% is from paid search. Paid search, like Google AdWords and things like that, that is generally not cheap, depending on what types of keywords you are trying to buy. So I would have to guess that if 43% of their traffic, 3.9 million page views, is coming from paid search, that $90,000 worth of monthly expenses, I would say that the paid search is a pretty respectable chunk of that $90,000 per month expense. Looks like they've got about 5% direct type-in traffic. People just come in there because they've probably been there before and they want to come back. A little bit of referral traffic and not very much social traffic. So that's probably an opportunity for any affiliate marketer. Don't neglect the social. So, and that is definitely an opportunity for this site owner as well. If they started focusing more on social, they could probably make a lot more money, would be my guess. And it looks like English-speaking countries, United States, United Kingdom, Canada, make up the majority of their traffic. So let's dive down into the financials just a little bit. As you can see, most months are over $100,000 worth of gross revenue. Got a few months that are less than that, but for the most part, we have some really impressive revenue numbers and some very impressive profit numbers. And we're going to dive into those in more detail in just a minute here. But what I want to actually call out are these 2 months right here. You've got February where it looks like there's a $20,000 loss, and you've got July, which looks like a $31,000 loss. And at first, I thought that that was just due to maybe a change in the Google search algorithm, or maybe they just had fewer people showing up at the site and actually completing their purchases. But I actually have a theory, and I think it's a very interesting thing to look at from a learning perspective. And again, this is just a theory. But if you look down here at their profit numbers, you'll see, again, overall, very impressive. $17,000, $42,000 profit, $22,000 profit. You've got a little break even right here. But overall, pretty much every month except for 2 are profitable. But if you start kind of looking into the details of what was going on in those months, I actually think what was happening was they were investing in their business. Maybe they were investing heavier in AdWords. Maybe they were investing heavier in content creation. But take a look right here. This $20,000 loss is actually on a month where they had spent more than any other month previous based on the numbers that we can see. So they were averaging kind of in the 60s and 70s, and then all of a sudden they have this $100,000 month worth of expenses. So it's really not surprising to see that they had a loss that month. But then look, the next following month, they actually had even higher revenue numbers than they were averaging most other months. Now here's where I think it's very interesting and where I think this theory proves out. But again, it's just a theory. So look right here in July. They spent $179,000. That is way more than they have spent in any other month that we can see here. And that's the month with the biggest, what appears to be a $31,000 loss. But then look what happens the following month. A $300,000 revenue month or $182,000 worth of profit. I really think that this $182,000 worth of profit is the result of them wisely investing in their business and in the content creation and in getting customers to their website. Because if you take a look at that $182,000, that's like 6 times more than they make some other months. And even more, if you look at the $20,000 months, that's like 9 times what they were making in those months, like down in here. So I really think that if you look overall, that ended up being a very good investment. Whatever it is that they were spending on this month in July that then led to $182,000 worth of profit, that is very impressive. And it looks like overall the revenue numbers, or excuse me, the profit numbers seem to be trending upwards. So I hate that we don't have more data to see what has happened beyond that point, but that's just really interesting because sometimes when you're doing affiliate marketing, you're not going to have every month will not be profitable. You can have certain things that are outside of your control, like changes in the search algorithm, to other things that are within your control. Maybe you change something on the site, the branding, the marketing, the site flow, and it causes a drop in conversion. You have to be a problem solver as an affiliate marketer. But again, in this case, I think what this is actually just a great example of why you do need to consider investing some of your profits back in your business. And yes, I know you have to eat. We all have to eat. We're all here to make money. But if you invest in your business, I think this is a perfect example of having really, really great returns from not pulling all of the profit out. So I just wanted to point that out because I think these revenue numbers overall very impressive, shows what you can do with affiliate marketing. And this is obviously a skilled affiliate marketing operation that has really fine-tuned their operation, as we're going to see more. And we're going to hop on over to the site in just a second to see what they're doing. But before we do, let's take a look at the seller notes here. This is very, very important to look at down here in some of the information that the seller has provided. A strong team of 10 marketologists and 10 editors have enormous experience, and 2 programmers as well. So right there we have 22 people are involved in creating content and doing the marketing for this website. So that is, again, one of those things that if you're just looking at a site on the front end that isn't for sale and you don't have any of this kind of information, you wouldn't know that they're spending $90,000 a month primarily, if I had to guess, on paid search and this team of 22 people. It's very difficult to know how many people are involved in a site if you don't have access to that kind of information. So let's hop on over here and take a look at why it takes 22 people to do this site. And first off, before we jump into exactly what's going on here, you can see that bestadvisor.com, it's a very generic name, great domain name, but when you look over here and you kind of start digging into what it is they focus on everything just about. This is like a consumer products review site. And I have a lot more experience, and personally, they're obviously doing very well. So I'm not knocking their strategy at all. I personally have a lot more luck and a lot more preference for doing niche websites that are a little bit less narrow than this. Because if you look here, I don't know how much money is in lint removers and things like that, but I would guess there's probably not a ton of money to be made in some of these things, while others there absolutely are. So let's take a look, because the individual content strategy. Let's go on over here to pets and look at pet houses, because I've noticed they have 2 main kinds of articles on this site. They're doing these comparison sites. So for example, best dog houses. You can see up here in the URL, best pet houses. This is what they're trying to rank for. So my guess is if you were to go to Google and search on those terms, you would probably find them somewhere in the results, maybe even high up. But this is pretty much what I've noticed they do for the majority of their articles, is they'll come in here and they'll have a product comparison grid at the top for 5 products. And I'm not saying that every single one or category has 5, but that's what I've seen for the most part. And then they have this grid that has quite a bit of information. They have this check price on Amazon. We're going to come back to that, why that's such a great strategy. But then when you go down here, so this is the Pet Mate Precision Extreme Outback Log Cabin House. You come down here, and then all of a sudden, you see a much more detailed review on the same page. This is their content strategy. This is why they have 22 people doing content creation and marketing, because you have this more detailed article. This is all about ranking for SEO here, and also getting people to think, hey, I've landed in the spot. This is where I'm going to find the best reviews, and then they're going to take action. But you go down through here, and you see how massive this one category for best pet houses is. And remember back to the homepage when we were looking at all the different categories they have, this is absolutely a huge amount of content. So for one person to just create even this single article, and for this to be original content, because they're not going to be ranking if they're just copying and stealing content from other people or just copying the Amazon listing, that's not going to help them rank because Google wants original content. And then you get down here to the bottom, and they've created a whole nother article or guide essentially that they've put at the bottom, which again is to help them with their organic SEO rating. And you see the amount of content that went into this. This is just so interesting to see what they're doing and to know the behind the scenes that it takes 22 people to do this at the scale that they're doing it at. So let's go back up here to the top, and really quick, I'm going to talk about this check price on Amazon. This is a great strategy for two reasons. One, as we all know, prices on Amazon change all the time. So you don't want to put a price and then have somebody click through and it's changed and then they're upset and they don't buy. And you don't want to put a price range because who knows how that range is going to change. You certainly don't want to try and change these prices manually. So there's a lot of really good reasons why this is a good strategy. The other thing is you want them to click through. This is an Amazon thing. You want them to click check price on Amazon, have Amazon open up over here, and now that cookie has been added, and if somebody makes a purchase within the next 24 hours, that site, bestadvisor.com, gets paid. So it's a great strategy to do the check price on Amazon. If you're going to do affiliate marketing and you're going to do Amazon affiliates and other types of affiliate programs, just remember you don't have to put specific prices. You can do things like that, which actually helps people increase your click-through rate because people want to figure out how much it costs, and then they've just added the cookie to themselves. So let's take a look at something else. If we go back here to the home page, and if you go down to the bottom, you'll notice that they have all these how-to articles. So like if I go to the what is a gimbal stabilizer article, this is a whole nother type of content that they're creating, these product guides, just to rank for SEO, to get you to come in here and learn about these and have their own internal linking structure, things like that. But you just really need to get a sense for how large a site like this really is. So let's go back to the home page now, and let's talk about how you would build a site like this and if you would even want to. I personally would not take on a project like this, especially if you're I'm a solopreneur. I do a lot of projects on my own, or I like to have a small number of contractors if I want to use something like Fiverr or I want to farm out some content creation. I would personally not want to manage 22 people. Obviously, it's working very well for the seller of this website. So again, not knocking his strategy, but that's just not what I would personally want to do, nor would I want to try and focus on this many products or this many different segments or things that were like, right over here, we have laundry baskets. There's not going to be a lot of affiliate money to be made in laundry baskets. So even paying to create that kind of content or creating it yourself probably wouldn't be worth it. So let me tell you what I would do. I would focus more on a niche. Let's go to best gaming chairs, because there's two ways you could take this and probably make quite a bit of money if you put the effort into it. So the first thing you could do is just make a niche website, a niche affiliate site on gaming chairs. So you could have it super focused on that. And if you've focused on your long tail keywords and things like that, you could probably rank much quicker if you were just focusing all of your content creation efforts on one particular product segment. And that would be one thing. That would be one thing you could do. But what I think would be an even better way to focus on creating a niche affiliate site within this particular market would be to go a little bit broader so that you haven't kind of boxed yourself in to just gaming chairs. So I would say that something like a gaming affiliate site would be better, because then you could start with the chairs or whatever you wanted to. You could move on to monitor reviews. You could do keyboard reviews. You could do graphics card reviews. The PC case reviews, all sorts of stuff. So you actually have a lot of room to grow. And just to me, if you're going to take the time and the effort to do it, and again, especially if you're a solopreneur, I think that would be a much, much better strategy for most people. Now, if I was going to build a site like this, or the idea that we were just talking about, the more niche site, either way, what would I use to build it? Well, I was digging into the source code. I can't tell if this doesn't appear to be a WordPress site. There are plugins that you can use to strip out some of the source code that lets you be able to tell whether or not it is. But this may be some kind of custom solution. But either way, I would use WordPress for sure. And there's just, when it comes to doing a content site or something like that, I can't imagine why you would not use WordPress and then probably start off with some other kind of cheap hosting, either from Media Temple or from WP Engine or somebody like that. So that's how I would approach a site like this. And again, I would personally choose to do it a little bit more narrower, a little bit more focused and not just so broad everything. Again, I think something like a gaming type focus would be great. So let's talk about really quick a couple takeaways from this. First off, it's definitely possible to make a lot of money in affiliate marketing. People have been saying for years that, oh, affiliate marketing is not what it used to be. It's not as good. Affiliate market's going away. Listen, right here, 4-year-old site, they are making some serious money. There are also affiliate marketers who are making millions, tens of millions a month. So affiliate marketing is absolutely a viable business model, and it really comes down to focusing on the right types of products and putting in the effort and not giving up. And that's probably the number one reason that people fail in affiliate marketing, is that they just give up. So that's the first takeaway. Second takeaway is, while you could replicate a site like this, I just don't think that it would be worth it for most people, especially if you are working solo. Which brings me to the third and final takeaway. Niche affiliate marketing is probably a much better option. So again, our gaming chair or our just gaming products, to be a little bit more general, computer products, pretty much anything over here on this category. You could do a niche site. Any one of these would be a perfect niche site because it's so broad. I mean, beauty and health, that might even be too big. You could do a whole site just on skincare, or just on men's skincare, or women's skincare, or just on shaving products and things like that. Or again, just beauty and health in general. So I would seriously consider focusing on a niche as opposed to trying to do something as elaborate as what bestadvisor.com has done. So that's it for today. If you like today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help us out when it comes to growth. And if you know someone who would find this useful, please do share it with them so that we can keep on getting the online business and affiliate marketing message out there, and just help people to take more control over their financial lives and build their own empire. Because in today's day and age, you really do need to be focused on creating something that is yours and not being reliant on other people for income, because we all know that things change very quickly, particularly in today's day and age. Finally, if you have something to add or you have requests for future videos, please let us know in the comments below, and we will see you next time here on Empire Academy.